What's going
Hey.
on, man? Ladies and gentlemen,
No.
boys and girls, children of all ages. I guess I should lead off with that, huh?
Yeah. I always wait for your intro because, that's what you always say. So I never really started off.
Well, I usually do that on open mic. I kind of leave the open to you because this is kind of your show. So,
So Rich, what happened 50 years ago today
50
in a
years
PR
ago
glitch?
today.
In a PR glitch.
Sports related?
Yeah.
1975. World Series was long over.
It is Pittsburgh.
'75. It was Pittsburgh. I don't know.
Apparently there was a PR stunt. It ended up getting Bob Prince and his co-host fired.
Fired. Mm-hmm.
opening
Yep.
the way for Lanny for Terry and Milo.
Milo.
My bad.
I should have known that. My mom was the biggest Bob Prince fan there was. I should have known this because his color guy was a fellow named Nellie King, and the it also the problem was Westinghouse became the new owner of the team, and they ended up saying a few things publicly that they didn't like, and there you go. But yeah, you're right. I had and my mom gave me the whole story about that because her and my grandmother would listen to Bob Prince, and she was a huge Bob Prince fan. Um, and he was I'm doing the math here. 27 years play-by-play guy.
I believe so. I have
And
his
started
bobblehead
in
downstairs.
1948.
I think the battery still works. I should have brought it up.
Wow. I have two Eric Nadel bobbleheads. One he's sitting at the desk, and the other one is an actual microphone with the final call from the World Series in 2023.
Oh, nice. Yeah, so that opened the way for Lanny for Terry and me and Milo, and 33 years later, Oh, I grew up with Lanny, that was my guy.
Yeah.
That was my Pittsburgh
I mean,
guy.
that was who I started listening to when I first started listening to the Pirates. I was listening to Lanny and Milo, and then Milo went to Houston and became the play-by-play voice for the Houston Astros for 30 plus years. He didn't want to be a color guy; he wanted to be play-by-play guy, and the opportunity came about, and he became the man in Houston. And here's the tricky question for you. Do you know who took Milo's spot when he left to go to Houston?
Oh.
I will tell you this, he's a former player.
I have no idea.
Jim Rooker.
Oh, really?
Yes, sir. When Rooker retired, he became the color guy for the Pirates on the radio.
And then then you said Houston, and I was going to be like, well, that leads into one of my segments coming up. Did you see who we hired today? Or maybe it was yesterday.
Oh, who the Pirates hired?
Yeah.
I missed that one. I don't know.
We hired Murphy, the pitching coach for the Houston Astros.
Okay.
And apparently, I don't know what was wrong with our pitching coach to begin with. I mean, they let him go. He had numbers that were pretty damn good. I did write them down here. Somewhere I wrote them down.
Yeah, I mean, Pirates pitching far and away the strength of the team. I think we can agree on that.
They were tied fourth in WHIP with a 1.26, a 3.76 ERA, seventh in the league, 19 shutouts, 153 homers, third in the league, 10th season missing playoffs again.
And that ERA, if you went starters only, was under 3. If you just did, so I think it's like a 2.91 or 2.92 or something like that. If you just did starters. So yeah, I mean the bullpen was the shaky part, but pitching was far and away the best part of this team. And it will be again next year. Breaking news to anybody that's not paying attention. You've got guys coming back from injury in Jared Jones. You've got guys looking at the Bubba Chandlers and guys like that of the world. Hey, Rick, we see this guy on open mic a few times there, Adam. Chi-Town.
But he's not a Bears fan. I don't know if he's a Cubs fan though. I never really we always talks football.
Do we think? Let's see. Are you guys think you guys are going to go to the playoffs? The Steelers, yes. I don't know what my cohort thinks, but I still think the Steelers are going to win this division.
I do not. Anyway,
you have us making it?
Huh?
Do you have us making the playoffs?
I think we lose again this weekend.
Okay.
And this is gonna make. And I think this is gonna open the door. And
here's your answer.
I don't. What's that?
Do not like the Cubs. Never did. Never will. I'm not a Bears fan either.
I knew you weren't a Bears fan, Rick. I just didn't know if you liked the Cubs because we always talk football when you join us. So, who's your baseball team, Rick?
And I mean, would I be surprised that the Steelers lost on Sunday? No, I had them when I did my schedule at the beginning of the year. I had them losing to the Colts. I had them beating the Packers, losing to the Colts, and I could have seen it going the other way. Jonathan Taylor is finally being Jonathan Taylor. We knew when he came into the league he was a beast, and he had a couple of years where he just wasn't himself. This year, I mean, tell me he's not in the discussion for MVP. He has to be.
I didn't think there was anyone else close.
He's a White Sox guy.
Well, Rick, just to let you know, the Pirates just signed Will Robertson from you guys.
Yeah. Tell you what, though, the White Sox have got some good young players. They really do.
They just can never put it together.
Well, they've kind of gone the Marlins route. They've really brought in a lot of young guys. They got, if I remember right, they're like the third or fourth youngest team in the majors. Marlins being first. The only guy they have over 30 on that Marlins team is Alcantara. Everybody else, I think the next oldest guy is 28.
I don't, we always talk about the Marlins trade to trade Alcantara every year, and I honestly don't think Alcantara wants to go anywhere.
I get that has to be what it is. Either that or what they're being offered is not enough. Because Alcantara has not done what he did the first couple of years of his career, the last couple of years. He hasn't pitched quite as well. Um, but so there we go. Yeah, the you know the young teams in baseball, Pirates, White Sox, A's, they're still the A's. The Athletics, okay, fine. If you want to call them the Athletics, go ahead. They're the A's. Um,
Until they're
Teams
officially
like
moved,
that.
right? Until they're officially moved, then they're the A's.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, it's just yeah. But I mean, teams like that are super young. Arizona, believe it or not, Arizona is a very young team.
And
Um,
they're good.
but that's we're seeing, and we've seen it in the NFL the last few years, where a very large number of those top guys at different positions are retiring. We're going to start seeing that in Major League Baseball here in the very near future because we're already going to lose Kershaw after this year. We may lose Scherzer. In the next couple of years, we're going to lose Verlander. We're going to lose DeGrom. We're going to lose a lot of these guys that have been and hitters too that have been that top notch player. And the younger guys are going to be transitioning into those roles. Curious to see what happens with that. Rick,
I think the
I'm with
DH.
you,
I
huh?
think the DH is gonna. I think the DH is gonna save a lot of these players from retiring too early.
Well, it may, but with some of these teams that already have someone in that spot, you're not going to waste two spots. Yankees are a perfect example, okay? Giancarlo Stanton will do nothing but DH for the rest of his career. He hasn't done anything but DH for the last several years, except for when
Didn't
he
he
was
play the field
forced
when
to
Judge
play
was
the
hurt?
outfield.
Didn't he play the
A
field when
little
Judge
bit.
was hurt? I thought.
He played a little bit, and he was a massive liability when he was out there. He was a liability in Miami. He was never a good fielder. He had an arm.
Do you remember when Barry Bonds was the Marlins hitting catch?
I do.
Do you remember that they had a home run derby and competition before the game,
Mm-hmm.
and Bonds beat everyone?
And Bonds won it. Yeah.
That's hilarious. I
Yeah.
don't care. That is hilarious.
Yeah. Well, see, we don't have this issue. Rick talking about the Bulls and the Kings and that. I do here in Texas. I'm right in the middle of the Texas Triangle. Being from Pittsburgh, we didn't have, obviously an NBA team. It was either Philly or Cleveland. I was a Philly guy when I was a kid, but then whenever um, we moved to Dallas the year before the Mavericks came into existence. So I've been a Mavericks fan forever. Um, I think Cooper Flag is fantastic. I think Nico Harrison is an absolute objectively moron for getting rid of Luka Doncic for Anthony Davis. Didn't get near enough for him. Um,
Rich, I
but
meant to
hey,
ask you on that. Do you feel they made that trade because they felt Cooper Flag was going to be better?
no,
I'm just curious. Like, I still wrap my head around that too. But I mean,
because you had the lottery, even though you had because the Mavericks had what, the eighth or ninth worst record. They were a long shot to get that number one pick. I mean, they made the trade mid-season. It wasn't the case that they could have completely tanked the year and have a little more weight on the ping pong balls. Cooper Flag literally fell into the Mavericks' lap. Is he going to be a really good ball? Yeah, he's going to be a really good ball player. Is he, you know, what a lot of people are thinking he's going to be? Time will tell. Is the talent there? Yeah. I mean, there's people talking about, he's going to be the greatest player to ever put a Mavericks uniform on. Okay, let's put the brakes on for just a second. Fella named Nowitzki will lay claim to that for many, 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 many years. Somebody's going to have to go a long ways to take that title from Dirk.
I love how
Not
they did
only
his
on the court,
I
but in the
love how
heart.
they did. I love how they did Dirk's statue outside the building. It's a
Oh, that
leaning
one-legged, yeah.
sideways. It's a leaning sideways fadeaway. Rick, what is the
He
score now?
created.
Just to...
He created. Well, you got to remember, Dirk created a shot that nobody has defended ever. Scores 2-0, bottom of the second, Toronto leading. Game 5, excuse me, of the World Series. But no,
Rick,
the shot, the fadeaway, that flamingo fadeaway is the first shot since the sky hook that a player created that A, worked, and B, was never defended. Adam lives in Pittsburgh, or in the Pittsburgh area.
I am like 20 minutes outside of Pittsburgh, Rick. But
yeah,
Rich grew up in Pittsburgh and moved to Texas at a young age.
Right. I live in Waco, Texas right now. I grew up in Arlington. Actually, my house is probably the house I grew up in Arlington is probably 1.5 miles from AT&T Stadium. So if that gives you some sort of geographic, but currently I live in Waco, Texas, right in the middle of the state. We call it the heart of Texas, and there's a reason for it. We're right there in the middle. Biggest Cowboy hater in the state, no questions asked. Rangers are my number 2 baseball team.
Rick being a Niners fan, I'm sure he's loving that comment.
Yeah. I was a big Joe Montana guy growing up, being a Pittsburgh guy. He went to the rival high school that my dad went to. My dad went to Thomas Jefferson, and Joe Montana went to Ringgold. And those two are like the bitterest of rivals. So my dad never liked Montana, but I was a huge Montana guy. All the guys that came out, from there, Jim Kelly, the whole crew, Dan Marino, all those guys, I was a fan of, but Montana was my quarterback. But it's, we were talking about the whole basketball thing, and that they're talking about this whole deal with the WNBA, and this is really, really funny. It really, honest to God, is because, and I'm going to say this in a very delicate way, but to get the point across, some of these players in the WNBA think that they are the reason that league isn't losing as much money as it was before. The WNBA still loses money. The only player that has got them a snowball's chance in hell individually of making money is Caitlin Clark. Because
I gotta say, Sophia Cunningham's got to be close too.
She's close, but Caitlin Clark as a draw. Now let's see if she maintains that. But you've got some of these ladies that are out there, and they've lost their minds. They're saying that in the next CBA, they should be getting paid what the guys are getting paid. Wrong. When the women have the kind of TV deal that the men do, come talk to me. When the women's teams are all consistently drawing 18 to 22,000 a night, come talk to me. Some of those teams don't draw 18 to 2,200, let alone 1,000. So let's just put the brakes on that right out of the chute here.
Right.
But yeah, I mean, I told you about this. We had other news today involving a former Pirate, Derek
Yeah.
Shelton, former
Rick,
manager
you
of the
might
Pirates,
want
has
Rick,
been
you might
named the
want
manager
to
of the.
listen to this news.
Yeah,
I
check
gotta
this out.
I'm gonna call him Diaz. That way you don't. But Diaz, you should be listening right now because this is big news for the Central Division.
Yeah, the Minnesota Twins have a new manager, Derek Shelton, former manager of our Fighting Buccos. That Central Division is not a bad division. Kansas
Yeah, the
City
Indians.
is solid. The
The Indians are
Guardians,
gonna
Indians,
be. They're gonna be
yeah,
right back in the talk of it, Rich. I know this is our pirate show,
yeah.
but those Indians are gonna be right back in the talk of everything. You got to remember they went into that series against Detroit with 3 rookies. And I'm sure they're going to work on their batting average, Rich. They had 3 players batting under 200 starting in that lineup for that whole series. And then they had
Yeah,
3
well,
rookies that didn't even play 48 games all season.
but it says a lot for the manager, Stephen Vogt.
I
It
like
says a
Stephen Vogt.
lot. I do too, and it says a lot for the leadership of some of those guys on that team. Perfect examples: Jose Ramirez and Stephen Kwan. Because not to mention the fact all that other stuff, but they traded Josh Naylor partway through the season to Seattle.
No, Naylor went as a free agent.
Naylor got traded.
Pretty sure he signed as a free agent. And that's what made them have to sign Santana.
July 24th, Mariners acquired first baseman Josh from the Diamondbacks. That's
I
right.
was
He
going to
did go
say.
from the. I forgot he had one in between. My bad.
No,
But
they did
Naylor leaves
trade.
that
They
team.
did trade Bieber, Miles
They
Straw,
traded Bieber to Toronto, who pitched
a
last night
mini,
and pitched a great game last night.
a minute Jimenez,
To
Ernie Clement,
Toronto.
Ernie
To
Clement.
Toronto.
These are all players that were on the Indians last year. Guardians, excuse me.
Yeah. Yeah.
Are they
No,
still
you're
getting
right.
beat bad? Is it still 2-0?
It's still 2-0.
I see you keep looking and it has my attention.
Yeah, I keep sorry about that. I keep glancing over. But yeah,
That's
it is
fine.
2-0.
You're allowed.
They're in the top of the third. Bichette up to the plate. So, um, and this is definitely one of those cases where
But like,
you have a guy that's in a better situation now with Shelton going to Minnesota. I think he's in a better situation mainly because
you
he has
think
some good players established players on that team.
Correa, if he stays,
Yeah, if he stays. And then no, he's in Houston. He went at the trade deadline to Houston.
who do they have left? Burkett? No. What
Buxton.
was his name? Yeah, Bronxton. Look, I don't even know anyone on the Twins. That's horrible. I
It is
just know
horrible.
that one. But I think
That
Shelton
is
walked into the
horrible.
same situation he walked into here.
I don't think so.
Well,
I think it's a lot better, a lot more established team um in Minnesota. I mean, when you're looking at guys like we were talking about, when you look at their pitching staff, you got a Pablo Lopez out there, a Joe Ryan, a Bailey Ober, Taj Bradley, who was really good in Tampa. And then you go out to their bullpen is shaky. Catcher, they've got Christian Vasquez, who was really good for Boston, and Ryan Jeffers.
I like
First
Christian
base as a
Vasquez.
whole, Cody Clemens being your starter at first is not a good thing. Same thing with Austin Martin being your starting second baseman. Royce Lewis at third, if he can stay healthy, is a monster. Brooks Lee at
See,
short
it's
is
kind of like the same situation he had here, though. A lot of ifs.
well, but but he's got established guys that have an if to him, not a bunch of young. The most established guy he had when he got here, there was no if. Brian Reynolds is Brian Reynolds. Period. End of story. You know what you're getting from Brian Reynolds. But Brian Hayes was an if. Pretty much everybody on the roster was an if. At the O'Neal Cruz was an if. Is he going to be a shortstop? Is he going to go someplace else? If he can play, probably the biggest if is Sawinski. Sawinski, I mean, plays really good defense if he could just hit. I mean,
if he could
I'm
take the
sorry.
bat out of his hand, if he could take the bat out of his hand, that'd be awesome.
There should be a major league rule: if you can't hit your weight, you automatically go to AAA.
That'd be like that might be a lot of people, Rich.
I'm sure it is. But I mean, Sawinski weighs 195. He hit 160 this year. Come on.
That's funny.
I mean, the interesting part for me is I want to see what Shelton does against those other managers in that division. Because it still is a strategy game. Okay. You don't have a whole lot of experience in those managers floating around at AL Central. So it'll be kind of interesting to see how that all plays out. And I hope he does well. Are the Twins going to win the division next year? No chance. I mean, unless the Tigers just absolutely go to bed, and unless Cleveland doesn't show up, it's those two teams and then everybody else. And I've heard that negotiations have started to sign a long-term deal with Skubal in Detroit. Okay.
I'm listening.
Once he, I think it's a given. Okay, let's just make it a given. He's the AL Cy Young Award winner this year. Safe to say?
Screwball? Yeah.
Skubal, yeah. So that's going to have an effect on what he's getting paid. The thing is, how long do you sign him? Is he? I'm not going to sign him for a 10-year deal. I'm just not.
Well,
With the way
they need
arms are
another
right now,
they need another 10 or 8-10 deal. They need another 8 or 10 deal guy on the books.
Mm-hmm.
I feel that would stop the CBA. That would stop all the talk of the cap. They need another guy to be an 8 to 10.
Mm-hmm.
That's my personal opinion. That's my personal opinion. I could see 8. I mean, Detroit did just do a big signing today. I'm sure you saw it.
Yeah. Could I do 8? That would put him up to 36, age 36 year. Actually, that would take him through his age 36 season.
Which would be perfect for a pitcher on an 8-year deal. I mean,
yeah,
is Screwball that special where he's gonna be the Max Scherzer, the Verlander pitch until he's 42, 41? Could he be?
I don't think he is, but here's my question. This was his 6th season, okay? He's only had these last 2 years that were just rock star.
Right.
18-4 and 24.
What he found another pitch, right? Doesn't he have 5 now?
Yeah,
And
but
he barely
I mean, he
throws it,
doubled
but when he
his
does, he's high efficient with it.
yeah,
Isn't that what we
he's
talked about
doubled his
before?
strikeouts. He's doubled his strikeouts. Um, his innings pitched are way higher. Um, let me ask you this: do,
Okay.
do you make it where he's got to go one more year before I start paying you Hall of Famer type numbers? You got to do it a third year in a row.
I mean, it makes sense.
I'm just thinking it simply because of how many of these guys have gotten burned. How many of these teams have gotten burned on a long-term deal. Um, I don't know. I don't know that I would.
I think 8 would be perfect, Rich. I think 36 would be the number.
36 a year?
No, I meant age 36.
Oh, yeah. I mean, and then it comes down to okay, what's it? What are you going to pay a year? 30? I mean, is 8 for 240 going to do it?
I mean, it should.
Well, I mean, he can't look, and I'm sure he understands this, but he can't look at getting Soto or Otani kind of money. That's just impossible. No pitcher is going to be a half a billion dollar guy. Not for a while, anyway.
No, we're never going to see another. I don't think I don't know if we'll ever see another Otani again. Just like,
No, but I
people
mean,
that got to see the Babe play, we're never going to see a guy like that again. The only
sure,
difference is now we have video of Otani, and we have very little
right, and
video of Babe Ruth.
right. A lot of people said the same thing about Griffey. A lot of people said the same thing about Ichiro. And to
Griffey was
me,
special, though. Griffey was
oh, no
special.
question, no question. If Griffey doesn't have the injuries, the back half of his career, you're talking about him and not Barry Bonds as the greatest home run hitter of all time. He would have destroyed. He'd had 800. No
He
questions
was
asked.
like
He'd had
he
800.
was like Mario Lemieux.
Yeah.
Would have shattered so many records.
Yep. He would have been a well, he was a monster in terms of what he was perceived to be. Generational, hell, 5 tool plus. I mean, and he was a great spokesman for baseball. He was what Mike Trout, another one that if he doesn't get if Trout doesn't keep getting hurt, you're talking about Trout in the same breath as those other guys. He's probably hitting 700 homers. Now you might. Is he going to hit? Well, he just hit his 400 this year, right?
Hey,
I
Trout,
mean, yeah.
I believe you are correct.
Yeah, he's at 404 right now, and he's 34 years old. Does he get the 5? I mean, he's going to need 3 to 4 more years, probably 4. Does he get the 500?
I think the
Maybe.
bigger question is, can he stay healthy?
That's the thing. Because when you look at what he started out with, 30, 27, 36, 41, 29, 33, 39, 45. Then COVID hit. 17, 8. He hit 40 in 2022, 18 in 23, 10 last year, and 26 this year. And that was partially because he had a super hot start.
The biggest question is, can he stay healthy, Rich? That's my question.
Exactly. He started getting hurt in 2020. Or 2021. I'm sorry, 2021. Because that was the first year he broke his wrist. He got hit by a pitch, broke his wrist. And missed a little over 100 games. He only played. No, he missed more than that. In 2021, he only played 36 games.
I was going to say he was out for a long time.
Then he played 119, 82, 29, and then this year, his healthiest year since 2019, he played 130 games. And he was on the IL for a week. And he missed 10 games because of the IL trip this year.
Yeah, it's questionable.
I mean, let before anybody starts thinking this, he's a Hall of Famer. Hands down, period, end of story. He retires today, Trout's a Hall of Famer. I don't think there's any argument on that. But does he get the 500? Maybe. But, I mean, he does have 3 MVPs, and he finished second 4 other times. I mean, let's be realistic about this. Let's be realistic. This guy should be first ballot, no questions asked. Hall of Famer.
I'd have to think about. I mean, I like Trout a lot, but I mean, I'd probably give it the vote. I probably would, but no playoffs. I think he has 4 bats in the playoffs.
You can't. Okay, but yeah, wait. Time out. No, hold on. He actually has 12 at bats in the playoffs.
12. Okay, 12.
He had 083. But you can't blame the playoffs on him.
No, but that's unfortunately what they look at, and that is a key. That is a key element.
See, I think people have made that too much of that, because the playoff numbers don't get you into the Hall of Fame, which is why Curt Schilling has no business being in the Hall of Fame, by the way. Yeah, he was a great playoff pitcher. He was good in the regular season.
Is Kiki Hernandez a Hall of Famer?
No.
Why? He's a playoff guy.
Hey. Scott Brosius, Jorge Posada. Okay. See if Jamie's listening. Derek Jeter. No, I'm playing on that one, but yeah, I mean, there's too many guys that they didn't do it in the playoffs. If that was the case, Greg Maddux wouldn't be in the Hall of Fame, because Greg Maddux struggled in the playoffs, but he won 350 games, struck out almost 4,000 guys, and was the pitcher of a generation. He just didn't pitch well in the postseason. So, I hate that Mike Trout is probably never going to get a World Series ring? Yes. But I also think the more that I have thought about this, and you and I have had this discussion before, I think he's wanting to be part of a dying breed. A Hall of Fame player that only plays for one team his whole career.
I didn't even notice, but Kiki Hernandez just had a home run.
He did. But
Speaking of my Hall of Famer.
Yeah. Well, we know, Kershaw, no question, is a Hall of Famer, and he's only played for one team. Altuve is going to get in, and he's only played for the Astros. Trout will get in, and he's only played for the Angels. At this exact second, that's the only three no-brainer Hall of Famers that have played for one team or only on one team. I'm saying no-brainer Hall of Famers. Verlander, multiple teams. Scherzer, multiple teams. Stanton, multiple teams. The next closest guy is probably Judge.
I can't see Judge going anywhere.
I can't either. But that's 4 guys out of 800. Not that long ago, 80% of the league stayed with one team their whole career.
Yeah, but it wasn't as easy to move back then.
Well, I mean, free agency is what caused the problem. Free agency caused the biggest part of the problem. We now have a triple from Mr. Varsho for Toronto. Runner on third to lead off the inning. So they might be able to get that run back from the Hernandez homer here. Speaking of which, the way Dalton Varsho has played in the series, he's going to get some consideration for MVP.
I still think we have to wait to see who wins it. I think this one's going to the winner. I don't think it's going to go to the loser.
Well, it could, but Ernie Clement's up. Snell is not pitching well tonight at all. I mean, I realize he's only thrown 52 pitches, but he's just not throwing Snell-like. But
I know. I think I left.
Talk about playoff pitchers.
I was watching the Columbus Blue Jackets, and that's what's on TV out there right now.
Oh. Well, Clement just did the best thing he could have done. Hit a fly ball to Kike Hernandez in center field, who has no arm. And Varsho just scored to make it 3-1, top of the fourth. And the Dodgers were already talking to the bullpen, making sure, hey, I don't know if there's guys already warming up. I haven't looked. But, I mean, yeah, the Dodgers don't want to lose 2 out of 3 at Chavez Ravine. I can promise you that. They do not want to lose 2 out of 3 at home and have to go to Toronto and win those last 2, because you can imagine what that crowd is going to be like at Rogers Center Friday night. Oh, man. You're not going to be able to hear yourself think in that building.
It's going to be loud.
Oh, yeah.
It's going
to be loud. It's going to be, yes, sir. It's going to be wild, crazy, and loud. Especially if they're, for game 6. But this Savage, that's pitched for Toronto, that pitched game 1. I like this kid.
He's a rookie.
Yeah. I like this kid. I mean, good composure. He's not trying to do too much. He knows what he is. He's not Max Scherzer. But he's doing what he needs to do, pitching smart, not giving up runs. Okay. But man, I guess we got to get into the whole debacle Sunday night. Two things about Sunday night. And we knew this going in. Green Bay is good. Green Bay is a very good team, one of the best teams in the NFC. So we knew this game wasn't going to be a pushover to start with. I think we can both agree on that, right?
Right.
But the other, huh? So what?
Go ahead. Go ahead. Finish. Go.
The second part is that this team has got to get a number 2 receiver. No questions asked. Metcalf is not Superman. I mean, yes, can he make some plays under double coverage? Sure. But they have got to have a second option out of the slot or whatever that is going to help pull some of that away from Metcalf. Making the deal for Valdez-Scantling, I'm not against it. I mean, we're basically giving up a bag of balls and a couple of tees. I'm not mad at that, but that is an issue that must be addressed either before the trade deadline, because there's a couple of receivers out there that could make that difference. Rashid Shaheed could definitely do that. So could Jacoby Myers.
There's
4 in the
about
draft.
6 teams I read interested in Jacoby Myers right now.
They should be. He's a solid number 2. He's not a 1, which is what Oakland's trying to, or Las Vegas is trying to do with him. They're trying to make him a number 1, and he ain't a number 1. So, but I mean, what do you think?
What do I think? Well, do you go out and try and find where do you pull strings, Rich? I mean, where? I don't know. I've never been a big fan of Jacoby Myers.
Me neither.
Haven't.
I would rather go with Raheed Shaheed from New Orleans before I went with Jacoby Myers.
But is he really a number 2? Or just a number 2 on that shitty team?
Well, no, he was a 2 on that team when the team was still good, when still had that guy throwing the ball wearing 9. What about Jalen Waddle?
Jalen Waddle not for trade, from what I'm reading. That's just what I'm reading.
I mean, Waddle's a 2. There's no question about that. He's not a 1. He's a 2.
Right. But from what I'm reading right now, he's not for trade.
Well, I would imagine if the right offer got laid out there would be a move being made. The other one I saw that he's out there, but I don't know what we would have to give up for him, is Calvin Ridley.
Probably a bag of peanuts.
I don't know. I think Tennessee's going to want at least a 3.
Okay, well,
we give them the 3 that we got for Pickens.
We both know the Steelers are horrible at giving. Well, Omar Khan's been a little bit different than the last guy. He seems to be willing to nudge a little bit, as I could say. Like, I have no read on what Omar Khan's going to do. I have no read on
it. I don't either. But the situation has got to be addressed. There's got to be something done to help Metcalf and to help Rodgers.
And there might not be.
I love Jonnu Smith. I love Pat Freiermuth. No question about it. I'm a fan of Darnell Washington. None of those guys are a number 2 receiver. I'm sorry, they're not. And no matter what either one of us thinks of Calvin Austin or Scotty Miller or whoever, they're not a number 2 either. Roman Wilson included in that. None of those guys are a 2. I don't know. I mean, there was the funniest part was that I heard that the Packers were going to listen to offers for Christian Watson. Well, we saw live and in color the other night what Christian Watson can do when he's healthy.
I don't know what's going on with Christian Watson right now because they got an update earlier today. It said he was questionable for this weekend already. Now it is the middle of the week, and they do that a lot for just rest day.
Yeah.
But I wasn't sure.
Yeah,
I
they
didn't really click on it because I was like, well, this is not good.
no, but they have to give him a classification. And actually, I picked up Christian Watson off the waiver wire the other day for my team.
That came across on
As he
Sleeper
sits,
today.
huh?
Probably a day of rest.
Yeah. Um, yeah, that's what they're so like they say Friday's injury report will reveal whether or not Watson has a designation ahead of Sunday's game against the Panthers. Um, he practiced in limited capacity today. So, you know, playing against Carolina, um, Green Bay should be able to handle them pretty well. Um, they need, at least I need them to. I've got
You
Love,
and me both,
Jacobs, and
brother.
Watson. Huh?
You and me both. You and me both.
I
I
got
have
Love.
Love.
I got Love, Jacobs, and Watson.
I got Dobbs and Watson. I have pretty much every Green Bay receiver on my team, and I have to use them this week because my other two receivers are on buys.
I mean, my big thing is going to be next week when I get Bucky Irving back. And then, I'm just trying to piecemeal not having Mike Evans. Uh, when he went down, I was like, ugh. But I just had one injury after the next, and I'm piecing it together. But I'm currently sitting 4-4 in my main league. I
You couldn't.
started 4-0.
You can't make a big trade.
No, and I've laid some trades out there that made 100% sense. And
Nothing.
and the thing is, I'm running three quarterbacks. I've got Mayfield, I've got Penix, and I've got Love. And I mean, I'm not trading Baker.
That's who I
Love is
would
going to
want
have
of.
to get me.
That's who I would want of the three. You want a big time receiver. Sometimes you gotta take the risk.
But I would go Love before I did Baker.
I'm just
Simply
saying.
because,
I'm just saying. If I had a choice to give up my number one receiver, I would want Baker.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, I'm just I'll part. The thing that I was looking at, especially before he got banged up, Penix just kept getting better. I'm sitting there going, okay, because somebody's going to come after it. I'm really kind of surprised nobody has yet, but you know, and then of course, when you have a situation where a guy like Jordan Mason scores you 1 point, I don't think Quentin
2.9.
Johnson made the trip. I don't think Quentin Johnson made the trip. I mean, 0, no targets even. I'm like, you went from being a double digit a week fantasy guy to a 0.
That's because Keenan Allen's
The
back.
hell?
Keenan Allen's back.
He's played with Keenan Allen all season.
I'm just saying.
He's played
Numbers
with
have
Ladd
dropped.
McConkey all season. And he's averaged 11 points a game.
Right, but you
Last
got to
week he
remember
gets a
Quentin
goose egg.
Johnson's Quentin Johnson's fallen to like 4th on that list.
I don't know,
Looks like
but
it
I had
looks
to
like
do
it goes.
something with him.
It looks like it goes McConkey, Gatson, Allen, Quentin Johnson.
Well, Gadsden's the
That
one
looks
that
like
has
the
messed
pecking
things
order.
up.
That looks like the pecking order now in
Yeah.
the Chargers.
Yeah, Gadsden is
And
definitely messing things up
I
with the
own
Chargers.
Gatson in 3 leagues.
Well, I picked up Slayton.
That's what you said.
So, that'll help a little bit. I feel super bad for Cam Scatterbo and for the Giants. He's done for the year, dislocated ankle. I saw the play. I would have reacted the same way Jackson Dart did. Um, Tyrone Tracy is okay. He's not the kind of runner that Cam Scatabo is. He just doesn't have that burst that you know what I mean? It's almost like
Tyron.
yeah, Tyrone Tracy. Scatabo to me, yeah, I guess I can go out. He's a smaller version of Bettis when it comes to running. He's not anywhere. I mean, Bettis was running at 240, 250. Scatabo is what, 225? But the distribution is pretty much the same as far as his build. He definitely catches the ball better out of the backfield than Bettis ever dreamt of doing. But when it comes to running the ball, I think Scatabo is a Bettis light. I don't know what you think, but
I like Scotty in college, so I'm all for whatever you're calling him.
yeah, I mean he was. I liked him in college. I saw what he did against Baylor twice. By the way, a little update: bottom of the fourth, first and second for the Dodgers, 2 down. Tommy Edman at the plate. Toronto's still up 3-1. So, but this week, the Steelers have the Colts. Ain't gonna be easy, man. Definitely ain't gonna be easy.
You know who could make a splash in the Pittsburgh region? The Pitt Panthers.
Yeah.
If they run table, they're gonna win that ACC. Whatever. What are we in? East Division? East and West? North and South, whatever. They're gonna win. And it's gonna come down to that game November 15th. We play Notre Dame, and then we play Georgia Tech the following week. Those are 2 big games right there.
Yeah. All those who had Georgia Tech going undefeated through this point of the season, raise your hand. Liars.
I pick Georgia Tech every year in my head, and I'm a Georgia Tech guy, Rich. I've always been a Georgia Tech guy. I've been to Georgia Tech. I've been down there. I've toured it. I've walked through it. I don't know. I think it was just the Yellow Jacket, but I love their hats. I love their clothing. When I was younger, man, that's all I had. Started Georgia Tech.
Yeah, and they've had some really good players run through there in different sports. I mean, Megatron went there. Chris Jackson went there in the NBA. But still, it's like, I saw them as a decent team this year. Did not see them as 7-0. Did not see them as undefeated at this point.
If you look at their schedule, Rich, their bulk of the schedule gets harder the last 3 weeks.
Right.
And then they closed it out with Georgia Tech. Yeah, Georgia. I think it goes Pitt, Georgia. I think that's where their schedule ends.
Yeah, I'm looking at Georgia Tech finishes. Georgia Tech has NC State on the road this week, off week at Boston College. Then they have Pitt at home, and then they close with Georgia.
Yeah, Pitt and Georgia. Those are going to be the two. Those are 2 of the toughest games on this schedule.
Right. Pitt, on the other hand, what Pitt has left, you got on the road at Stanford Saturday.
This is going to be a good game week. Saturday.
Yeah, and then they've got 3 ranked teams to close the season. Home against
Notre
Dame.
Notre Dame's ranked. I don't know how Notre Dame's ranked.
Notre Dame's 12th.
At Georgia Tech. I know they are.
And then
they have
Pitt,
2 shitty losses.
Pitt, Miami.
They have 2 shitty losses.
I understand, but you don't drop that much. I mean, they lose to They lose to Ohio State, who was number 1 at the time. Or I'm sorry, scratch that. I'm looking at the wrong thing. They lose to A&M, who is number 3 in the country, who this just in is really flipping good. They lost to Miami, who's number 10 in the country. So those are their 2 losses.
And Miami was number 2 at the time they lost to Notre Dame.
Right, but they're still number 10. So their 2 losses are to 2 top 10 teams in the country. You can't throw them out of the rankings for that. It's not like they lost to Directional Tech and Beefsteak U. I mean, they lost to some really good teams who have proven themselves to be good this year, unlike a certain team 100 miles down the road from here. Our preseason number 1 back 40 Longhorns.
Yeah.
I told you
That
guys.
team, you know, Rich, sometimes it happens. And sometimes teams' wheels just fall off one game at a time. Before you know it, you have all 4 wheels gone and you have 4 losses. You also lost your number 1 starting quarterback. No one really knows where they're going with their coaching.
Yeah. Because remember, I told you guys on open mic months ago, I did not like Arch Manning and Steve Sarkisian's system. And
I never was a fan of him anyway. But you know that.
I think from watching him, because I've watched every game he's had. Does he have talent? Yes. But he's got to have
he
the
looked
right
good at
coach.
was Sam Houston. And who the hell is Sam Houston? That was the game he had 5 touchdowns, right?
But I'm looking at the raw tools. Can he throw an out pattern? Yes. Can he throw the deep ball? Yes. Can he throw a slant? Yes. Can he dodge pressure? Yes. Can he read defenses? Yes. But does he need to be groomed into a quarterback that is going to be viable in the NCAA and in the NFL? Yeah. He's a ball of clay that needs molded. And that ain't happened yet. And his coach, Steve Sarkisian, is not, and the UT program is not a quarterback development kind of place. I would have loved to see him at Ole Miss with Lane Kiffin, or to see him at Tennessee with Josh Heupel. Either one. And of course, that's where his uncles went to school. I think he would have definitely gotten a lot better, development. I hate it for him. But
right, it's like he's riding off a name.
I think Texas was riding off of his name. And then they threw the moon and the stars at the kid in NIL money. And if he tries going to the NFL next year, he will get steamrolled in the NFL. He is nowhere close to ready to go into the NFL. Not even close. And I'll stand by that. No matter what anybody says, no matter what he does at whatever showcase, he ain't ready. He needs another year. He really does. There's plenty of other quarterbacks for teams to take this year. Whether it's Allar, whether it's Raiola, whether it's the kid at Vanderbilt, the kid in Indiana, whoever it is. Manning needs to wait a year. Really
right. Yeah. What's he gonna make on the nil though if he stays? Another $5 million? Is that what he's under?
I think it's it's 4.5 or 5, one or the other.
Like, there's no rush for these kids to come out. Like, they've already made enough money.
Yeah. Yep. He said it says between, depending on performance in that between 4.7 and 5.5.
Like, I don't know. There's no rush.
No. Nope.
But so yeah, it's just like so confusing.
Yeah. Yeah, that is true. That is true. But
What's your prediction for the game this weekend, Rich?
Pain. No, that's not gonna work.
Tie.
Yeah. I'm gonna go. Well, I mean, I had this as a loss to start with, and the Colts are really good. I would love nothing more than to be wrong. Give me the Colts 30-21. You?
I'm taking the Colts too. I just think they're on a roll right now. I'm gonna say I'm at 31-2, but I think we only put up 17.
I would love to see Danny Dimes revert back to his old ways this week.
Listen,
Throw
Danny
4 or
Dimes
5
just
picks.
you know, Rich, you say it every show. Every draft, a guy has to go to a team that fits him. And
Yeah.
this is the team.
And this is a fit.
This is finally the team for Danny Dimes.
Yep. Could not agree with you more.
I thought we were gonna see him get a chance in Minnesota just to throw to Justin Jefferson and Jordan Addison just to throw it around for fun. But they put him right on the practice squad. They didn't even want to give him a chance.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Just like Dan Marino could have went and threw to Chris Carter and Randy Moss, and he said he elected not to because he wanted to stay a Dolphin.
Yeah.
That wouldn't have been a good fit for him, but it would have been fun to watch.
True. True.
I think Jared Allen was still playing in Minnesota at that time too, or at the beginning of his career. I think.
Yeah.
99.
But I think you're right. It's a great fit for him in Indy. He's got a really good running back. He's got a really good number one receiver in Michael Pittman.
And
Ty
one
Warren.
tight end too.
Yep. Ty Warren at tight end is really good. The O-line is really good. Defense doesn't hang him out to dry, where he's got to be putting 35 on the board to win.
And you got to remember, Cam Ward is also out right now too. So they're not even fully healthy on defense.
Yeah. Yep. This is going to be, I think it's going to be an interesting game. I hope Danny Dimes goes back to his old ways. I don't think he's going to. Should be interesting though. But yeah, I think the Colts get this one done. Put the Steelers at, a interesting mark of 4-4. And
I think all of a sudden those ropes are getting tighter.
Yeah, but
if we lose, the Bengals pull this off this week, we're in second place.
Aren't the Bengals? The Bengals are 3-5.
Yep.
So they would be 4-5. They'd still be behind us.
They have the game in hand though.
Yeah, we'd only be a half game up. Yeah, we'd only be a half game up. See, Flacco's hurt. We may see Jake Browning again. The Bears are getting the benefit of playing some real trash teams the first half of this season. They played the Cowboys.
They weren't sure. They weren't sure yet. Flacco, he wasn't ruled out yet. I know that.
No, but they're saying, from what I was hearing from Colin Cowherd earlier today, is that there's a better chance of Browning playing than Flacco. So I'm just going off of that. But it's going to be interesting because there's a lot of what ifs. I mean, Lamar comes back this week. So that could if Baltimore puts their defense together, that could
Does
end up
this
making the
change?
difference.
Does this change
Like
anything? Brock Bowers is fully back.
Brock Bowers is fully back. Yeah. Yeah, it does. I mean, he is more Travis Kelce as far as a receiver goes than Michael Mayer is. Um, Mayer is okay. Bowers is a whole different discussion. I mean, I don't understand why they haven't traded Mayer to fill one of those holes that they have on that team because they've got a few of them. I wouldn't be surprised if they do trade Mayer.
How many 3+ touchdown games does Jonathan Taylor have this year?
That would be 3, I believe.
4.
4?
4.
I mean, he's got to be, if not the front runner, he's right there for MVP. I mean, I realize that it's become the MVQ instead of MVP, but find me a quarterback that's having a better year and means more to his team than what Jonathan Taylor does to the Colts. I'll wait. I can't.
What?
I can't. I've tried.
What's the question?
Find me a player in the NFL because it's become the MVQ award, most valuable quarterback. But find me another player in the league that's having the kind of year or means more to his team than Jonathan Taylor does to the Colts. The only guy that I can think of that's even close is Drake May.
I can't think of any offhand.
I mean, Drake May has definitely, him and Mike Vrabel are right here. And you can see, you knew when Vrabel went to New England it was going to be a positive change. You just knew that was going to happen. But I mean, he has definitely made a massive difference in that Patriot team. Travion Henderson has made a difference in that team, and Drake May is developing into a pretty damn good quarterback.
I agree with that one.
By the way, bottom of the 5th now, 3-1, still Toronto leading, 2 out, and Alex Call, the number 9 hitter, just sent one straight up the chute and into the stands. Little play-by-play there. So, but should be interesting though, man.
Should be.
So, well, we made it an hour 15.
I see that. I feel tonight's show was better than yesterday's.
Why is that?
Because I'm a little more awake today than yesterday. Yesterday I was in bad shape.
Yeah, you didn't seem to be your normal self.
Just work, just kicking my ass.
Yeah. Well,
Just sucks.
get through the first year, then you'll be all right.
I'm just trying to get through a daily basis right now.
Oh, I'm just telling you. You get through the first year, you got it made. Made in the shade, man.
I'll take your word on it. Well, I can tell you this sweatshirt never fit before. Now it fits.
Gotcha.
I
I
kind of
gotcha.
like the Steelers Ireland sweatshirt. You see it?
Yeah. Yeah, it's not bad.
I
It's
kind
not
of like
bad.
it.
And there's strike three, end of the fifth. Threat over. 5-1 Toronto trying to take a 3-1 or 3-2 lead.
Isn't it 3-1?
Sir?
Isn't it 3-1? It's not 5-1.
Scores 3-1.
Right. You said 5-1.
No, I said the end of the
Toronto.
fifth. Yeah, end of the fifth.
Gotcha.
3-1 series tied at 2. It's been a really good World Series. The first 4 games were great. This one's been pretty good. Um, I mean, it's what you expected when you had these two teams playing.
I
I
still
hate when the
think I
World
still
Series is a I hate when the World Series is a sweep. You have one team that just is not competitive, and you're just like, the hell.
I agree. I wanted to sweep though. I wanted to see the Dodgers get it.
Yeah, like I say, I like Freeman. I'm a Freddie Freeman fan. I was when he was in Atlanta. I was a Teoscar Hernandez guy when he helped me win my fantasy league 2 years ago, and I've liked him ever since. Outside of that, well, and Max Muncy's a former Baylor Bear, so and I know Max, and he's a good guy. Outside of those three, eh. I mean, would I like to see Kershaw win one his last season? I guess maybe. He won one last year. Calm down. Um, on the flip side, I picked Toronto at the beginning of the season. Um, I've looked at Toronto and Seattle as the two best teams in the American League for a couple of years now, and they just finally came through on it. Um, and the scary part is this Toronto team could be really good for a few years to come. Yeah, they got some pitchers they're going to have to replace with Bassett going to be leaving. Scherzer probably retiring. But, when you got a young guy like this Yesavage, um, then they got a couple other young guys in their minor league system. And they've got their main position players, they've got locked up for a while. They've got Bichette locked up for a few more years. Vladdy's, I think, 3 or 4 or 5 more years. Um, they'll be interesting.
Yes, it will.
But anyways, man.
Sorry, I was trying to keep up with all your knowledge. I'm trying to type as fast as you're talking, but you're already on to the next subject, and I'm just behind.
Sorry, man.
Oh, you're good. You're good. I was just trying to keep up. I'm like, fuck.
Yeah.
But yeah, very excited, ready to go. We'll see what happens on the weekend. Obviously, um, Sidney Crosby did get another milestone, and I'm sure you saw that.
I did. And I'm glad.
Me too. Doesn't look like there's a lot of sellouts though at the paint can.
No, which is disappointing because I wouldn't be surprised if this is Crosby's last season.
We'll see. We'll see. But yeah, we ready to close it up, Rich?
Yeah, we can do that. You guys can get me on Twitter, BigRich8371, or you can get me on Facebook, just my name, Rich Richardson. Shoot me your comments, your questions, your opinions, and we can talk about all kind of stuff there. Tuesday nights, open mic night. I probably will do a Monday show. I know I've been awful doing two tire change this season. Second half of the year with the medical issues and all
You've
that.
had a lot of medical stuff, so I can't blame you.
But the championship race is Sunday. So either Sunday night or Monday, I will do a two tire change season wrap up, talk about the championship, that kind of thing, and go from there. Hopefully, it's a Hendrick Motorsports car. The final four, you got two Joe Gibbs guys and Chase Briscoe and Denny Hamlin, and two Hendrick guys in Kyle Larson and my guy William Byron. So hopefully it's a Hendrick guy that is hoisting that big trophy Monday or Sunday night in Phoenix.
I saw that down the 4.
Yep.
I like how NASCAR's taking this to a whole new level.
I hate it. I hate it. Because you can run great all year and have a fluke knock you out of the playoffs. It's better whenever you take the whole season into account. Yeah.
But hey, you can get me at That Sports Talking on Twitter, guys. You can also get me at Driving to the Top Productions on YouTube. Hit that like, subscribe button. I know I didn't even share to any of the big groups tonight. Sorry, guys. Just I don't know. I just didn't. I just wanted to see. But Rick, thank you for tuning in. I guess you disappeared for a while.
Yeah, man.
But yeah, thanks everyone for tuning in, guys. And we will talk to you next Wednesday for Pittsburgh Talk, and then we will talk on Open Mic on Tuesday. Rich gonna get his final show in. Are you gonna try and get a guest, or are you just not even gonna try?
I've already reached out to Brad Gilly from Motor Racing Network and Performance Racing Network. He said he's just got to see what he's got going after the race on Sunday, which is why I may do it Monday instead of Sunday. Because if I can get his time, at least for a few minutes anyway,
Right.
we can go from there.
Right. Sounds good. Yeah. So we'll go from there, Rich, and we will see each other Tuesday. Unless something big happens, then we need to break in with some news. And of course, thanks everyone for tuning in, and we will see you again next week.
See you later.